These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, December 22nd. A couple days after the Celtics beat the Kings and a couple days after they lost to the Warriors. But we are here for another full-length pod. You guys are hearing this on Sundays. We're recording this before the Clippers
Christmas
game.
Eve.
Obviously, Merry Christmas Eve. Hope you guys have a happy holiday season. Obviously, Sam's the Grinch, but I love Christmas, so you get the duality here.
Don't care for
We're recording this a couple days before the time it drops. Obviously, we're going to be covering the Clippers game that's going to be edited into this video, but I'm going out the night of the Clippers game with some friends, so I won't have time to record the full-length pod there. So if by any, knock on wood, there's nothing, but if there is news, sorry, we didn't see
It'll be on the Tuesday pod.
Yeah, you'll get it Tuesday pod or in the Clippers recap if it comes before that. But anyways, without further ado, Sam, should we give away some popcorn?
We sure should. If the damn thing would update. There we go.
The backgrounds have been giving us some trouble, but let's go over to the wheel. Semi-full wheel today. Decent amount of people wanting in. 6 people wanting in to get themselves some popcorn.
You should want in.
Let's see who's getting some. Let's see who is getting some popcorn. I'm just double checking to make sure we didn't have any double entries. I don't believe any of these people have won.
$10 gift card. Who's it going to be? 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 I can't tell.
Danielle Austin.
Big W.
Winning yourself a $10 gift card to Inpopnito. We'll respond to your comment. I'll bold your name on our
That
sheet.
should be good for a free bag for you. Over 60 flavors. Great holiday edition flavors. You have sweet, salty, spicy. It doesn't miss. I'm almost through my second bag of the 4 that I bought the other day. So that just tells you it's addicting. It's a great product. You should definitely check out the website even if you don't win because they're good people with a good product. All right.
If Sam is recommending holiday stuff.
If I hate everything and I'm like Inpopnito good, that should tell you something.
That's what we're
saying. I don't even say good things about Tatum, and he's on the team.
Without further ado, let's throw it over to our future selves for a recap of the Celtics-Clippers game. All right. Thank you to our past selves for throwing it over to us. We were here after the Celtics monster win over the LA Clippers, 145-108. What is that, 37-point victory? Is that math? Did I math correctly? 37, excuse me. I said 47. 37-point victory. I was close over the Clippers in LA. Absolutely dominated them. Paul George had a pretty hot first quarter, similar to the quarter that De'Aaron Fox had in Sacramento. After that, I mean, even in the first quarter they won, but the Celtics, was it wire to wire or were the Clippers up?
No, Celtics were down a little bit early there.
Okay, yeah, they were down by like 2 points, and then, I mean, as you can see on the screen here on YouTube, they just said, all right, see you later.
Now,
there.
This is how I would prefer the live tracker to look every game. I mean, when you have a big lead and you can actually build it and keep it, it is a time for celebration because that is not something we're all accustomed to here as Celtics fans, especially over the last couple of years. In fairness to them, they did a good job on Wednesday against Sacramento of kind of doing the same thing, keeping the Kings at bay. Like, this is like they got pissed off at themselves after the Warriors game, and now they're the guy at the barbecue slapping everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good win for the Celtics. Like I said, Paul George played well for the Clips, especially early on. I tweeted it early. I said, it seems like the Celtics are playing with good pace. Celtics open threes just aren't falling, and Paul George, the Clippers are relying on a lot of tough Paul George makes to stay in it. Let's see how long that lasts. Evidently, it didn't last very long for the Clippers. Paul George did finish with 21 points on 9 of 17, 3 of 7. James Harden had an all right game as well. Daniel Theis had 15. Brandon Boston had 13 in the closing moments. Celtics killer. But for the Celtics, it was, in my opinion, all about Jayson Tatum and Jrue Holiday. I mean, those are the guys on the thumbnail. Jayson Tatum had a nice bounce back, 30 points, 9 of 16, 5 of 10, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He got to the line on 3 3-point fouls. And I know you don't like 3-point fouls. All of them were pretty clear 3-point fouls. Like, they were just under him every time. 2 flagrants against Jayson Tatum. And then Drew Holiday, 8 of 12, 4 of 6. I know you tweeted from, I can't remember if it was your account or the pod account.
Jersey Jerry.
Yeah, how's it feel to score again? Because he was making all his threes. He also had 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He was doing a little bit of everything. We'll get to some of the bench pieces later, and I think I want to talk a little longer about 2 in particular, Oshae Brissett and Neemias Queta. But starting with the big names, Jayson Tatum, huge bounce back, exactly what you want to see from him. And my theory, at least, is that if he sees a couple layups go down, he sees a couple, smart shots go down, it probably helps with the rhythm of the threes. I haven't done the research to back it, but that's what the eye test is telling me after this one.
I would be interested in that study.
Mm-hmm.
I know we texted about it.
Yeah.
So Tatum got going early, like you said, he got to the basket, but he also did get to knock down some threes that weren't off the dribble.
Yes.
Early in this game, they got the ball to Tatum, and it was just catch and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked into it earlier in the week, and he shoots 45% on catch and shoot. Those are money, no brainer looks. Absolutely take them every single time, no problem with that. Shot 5 of 10 from threes today. There were a couple super cool dribble threes in there, but it was good to see him come out, find a little bit of a rhythm, get some confidence back, because as annoyed as I get with him taking the bad threes, he does need to see shots go in because it's been a little while. We looked at the last 10 game numbers a little bit in the last video, and his shooting splits, not very good, particularly from 3. He was hovering around 30%, which is just not acceptable for somebody that takes as many as he does. But today was a great 5 of 10 showing, got himself to the free throw line as he's done all season, and really just had a pretty solid overall game. It's nice to see him crack 30. Personally thought Jaylen had a pretty good game too. He came out kind of hot. He had that crazy make over the backboard after getting blocked by Westbrook. He tried to kill Theis.
Tatum did kill Theis. So
sadly,
somebody on the Celtics did.
Yeah. Theis actually, by the way, did have a good game since we're talking about it. You said Paul George was the only one. 5 of 5 for 15 points. Care to explain yourself?
Me?
Yeah, you said Paul George was really the only one.
I mentioned Theis too. I said he had a nice game on the bench.
Absolute demon. 5 of 5. The man. I love Theis, man.
For what it's worth. Too bad what? Go ahead. I'm
too bad he's not on the team.
Yeah, agree. It's obviously very brief research. In 2 of his best 3-point games of the season, his first 2 to 3 makes have been not threes, for what it's worth. So he shot in the Celtics Hornets game, he shot 7 of 15 from 3. He started off with the 2-point make, a free throw tech make, and another 2-point dunk make. And then in the Knicks game where he shot, I think 5 of 12, so 40-something% from 3, he started off with a 2-point layup and then a 2-point jumper and then a dunk. So not saying it's completely valid, but I do think it helps him get in a little bit of a rhythm there, and it definitely helped tonight. He also went to the post game a little bit more, mid-range a little bit more, which was nice to see. He did end up shooting 4 of 6 from 2-point land, which was nice. Good game from Tatum. Like I mentioned, Drew Holiday, also really solid. He was great at playmaking. He was great at getting his buckets. He was fun. Derek White, a little bit of an off night shooting. Still had 3 blocks.
Weird seeing him not make everything, isn't it?
I know. It was odd. That Paul George block was so sick, though. The one early on in the game. Block? Yeah, those are so
That's
fun.
The Manu on Harden.
Yeah, he did it to Clay and Steph in that Warriors game, too. He's so good at that. But shout out Tatum. Shout out Drew. Good game from the starters. Jaylen was a team high plus 29. We're seeing a lot more Jaylen Brown leading the team in plus minus lately.
Yeah, it wasn't the best assist versus turnovers game for him. 2 assists to 3 turnovers. He did look sloppy at times. There were a couple times he just lost the ball, and I was like, oh, that's the guy that was playing in the playoffs last year. But for the most part, over the last month or so, he's been really, really locked in and careful with the basketball. So I think that's just a little bit of an anomaly today, but still 24 points, shot 53-ish% from the field, 50% from 3. This was he made his threes game, so he took 6 instead of only taking 3, and fine with it. Glad to see Jaylen play well. I continue to stand by that he is maybe the most influential player on this team. Not so much in the way you believe Derek White's the MVP, but he can really dictate how their ceiling is, because when he is locked in, the team is just so much different, and it takes a lot of pressure off some of the other top guys to play well. So good on him. Glad he's continued to keep it going, and need a good game from him on Monday against the Lakers, because that's one place they can kind of pick at them. They can really only throw one of their great defenders at Tatum. Or I should say, they can only cover one of them. They don't have the defensive staff in LA to assign everybody to those two guys, because you'd have to imagine Davis will take Porzingis, LeBron takes Tatum if he decides he wants to play defense that day, which he will, because it's Christmas and everyone's
They'll probably
watching the Celtics.
They'll probably put Cam Reddish or Torian Prince on Jalen. I'm not saying either of them are equipped to cover Jalen, but I think the Lakers are a more respectable defensive team than they are offensive team. So I'd be more worried about, can they keep up the points? And I think the Celtics should focus on shutting the Lakers down rather than keeping up in points, which I know you're a big fan of. So there is that. As far as the rest of the team, we mentioned Derek White. He had 18, 3 and 3 and 3 blocks, all the threes. Al Horford had 6, 7 and 5. Jalen finished with 24, 6 and 2. But the guys, Hauser, another rough game, 1 of 5. He had some nice assists, though. Give him his credit. He had 4 of them. And Pritchard shot all right, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But the guys I want to talk about are Oshae Brissett and Neemias Queta. We can start with Queta, because I think Brissett is the more important talking point, in my opinion. Neemias Queta had 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 of them offensive, and 3 assists in this game. He did have 5 fouls. 8 free throw attempts, by the way, second on the team. My thing with Neemias Queta, and I think both him and Oshae Brissett are deserving of more minutes or steady minutes. I think may be the better, regardless. One of the two, whatever you want to say. More minutes in the sense of more than they were expected to get. Neemias Queta, monster on the glass, clearly. He's had 2 double-doubles on this road trip, as Drew Carter pointed out. He'd never had one coming into the game. Coming into the road trip, I should say. Not a great defender in general, in terms of positioning. He's greater. He's nice around the rim. He can stand straight up for the most part, but he's foul prone and he can't stick with guys on the perimeter, and he's slow, right? So you got to work on the defensive positioning. Can't really finish around the basket just yet. He missing a lot of layups, struggling in that area. Stats. That said, I think it's important to invest in, and I still think Kornet is the better option on the floor in terms of general, right? I think if you need rebounding or hustle or something like that, impact on the glass, you put Queta in, let him be that spark. In general, in terms of overall defense and offense, I think Kornet's still probably the better play. However, I think it's important to invest minutes and invest development in Queta, because there is very clearly a rotation player budding there. There's very clearly like a useful piece there. And if they can improve his touch around the rim, which he does work on in practice, and improve his defensive positioning, which I'm sure he also works on, but I haven't seen it. Like, you can see him getting real minutes for this team. And I think he's very quickly making a case to earn that 15th roster spot. Like, Queta's been really good over the past couple games, regardless of his flaws.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the defense. Westbrook really went at him hard there in the second half, and it was kind of like not discouraging to watch, it was a reality check. It was like, okay, like this isn't perfect. I do think his ability to just be in a big force on the glass is huge. I don't think it's something that the Celtics necessarily have, even with like Porzingis, who's huge height-wise. He's not bullying guys. He's not getting great position every single time. Even with the misses down low, he's done such a great job at not only bailing himself out, but bailing his teammates. He crashed the glass on a fast break. I think Pritchard missed a layup, and he came from way past the free throw line to get the offensive board and create an extra opportunity for the Celtics. Very exciting to see him have significant minutes to prove himself, because we did a video on him when they got him in the summer. A lot of Kings fans came over in the comments and were like, you guys are going to love this guy. He's a hustle guy. He's good vibes. I don't know where I read it, but the word is like they really like him. Like the team really enjoys him. Like he's a good piece to have around and everybody gets along with him. If he's able to give them real minutes off the bench, he can add a new wrinkle to what they're able to throw out there against, let's say, Joel Embiid. I know we talked about the fouling, so like might not be the best fit, but it is some extra size. to just have an extra body in case guys get in foul trouble.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action, NFL. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including you got spreads, you got your player props, you got over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
I agree. I mean, listen, like I said, I still think Kornet should be the team's go-to option, just in general, right? I still think he's a better positional defender. I think his touch around the rim is better. Rebounding, it's Queta, and it's not close. Kornet's never been an amazing rebounder. Like, if you need that, you go to him. Right. But just and another thing I forgot to mention, Queta is the best screen setter on the Celtics. It's not close. Kornet's not as good. Horford's not as good. Tatum's not, like, he is the best screen setter. If he sets a screen, that dude not getting by the screen. Like, it's just not going to happen. Needs to work on the positioning of the screen sometimes because he got called for a foul today. But in general, screen setting, like, Queta is the best. It's not close. So I think that's an important skill to note too. So I think they need to give him more minutes. I think they need to invest in him. And I'm not saying like he's going to be on the team for years and years and years, but I think I tweeted during the preseason, like, feels like he's going to be on a guaranteed deal, if not this season, by the start of next season. Like,
he's
like
also
said,
young enough
like him. Yeah, he's
for them to
right?
give him room to grow. Like, he's 24.
Yeah.
If you set a realistic goal for him, he could be like 75% of Rob. Like, he doesn't have the freak athleticism, and he's really not as quick on defense to get across and block shots. But he adds the offensive rebounding wrinkle that Rob kind of had when he would bring energy. That'd be sick. Like, if you just ask him to do that, catch lobs, and actually finish the looks he gets inside, because oftentimes he gets real close to the rim just with his body down low. Never mind jumping up and finishing. Like, the position he's able to get is fantastic. So all he's going to do is learn to finish, and he could become a real force for them off the bench.
I agree. And as much as I think it's important for him to get more minutes, and don't worry, his face is on the thumbnail. I think the more important player to talk about is Oshae Brissett. He has been so impactful these last two games. And it's easy to look at the threes and say, oh, he's finally making his threes. He deserves minutes. Even if he had shot, it's a big part of it. Sure. Even if he had shot 0-4, I think he would be deserving of more minutes. Like the impact he has on the rebounding, on the glass, on the energy of this team. Right. Even the vibes of the team. Look at him. He's out there pointing to the Clippers bench, pointing to the Celtics bench.
Yeah.
Oshae Brissett is slowly separating himself, or maybe quickly separating himself from the Lamar Stevens, Delano Bant, and Svi Mykhailiuk group. Right. It is now becoming these three, Oshae Brissett. And it's getting to the point where fully healthy Celtics, Oshae Brissett should really have a shot to get real minutes regardless. Because, like, the impact on the glass is outstanding. You look at the way he is not only getting these offensive rebounds, you saw it only once today, but you saw it twice against the Kings. He's getting these rebounds and immediately finding somebody for a three, and it's immediately creating points. He is saving a possession and finding points. And like I said at the top, 3 of 4 from 3 today. If those are going down, there is literally no reason for him not to get minutes.
When we've talked about Oshae in the past, you've mentioned his jump shot doesn't really look,
and it doesn't,
very reliable. I think over the course of this road trip, he's looked pretty smooth shooting the ball. Now, I don't know what that looks like in comparison to what you've seen at practice, but to me, it looks like it's a pretty fluid motion, so maybe there have been some improvements on that.
It's better. It looks a little better.
It's better? Okay, well, that's good news, because we texted about this. If he's able to give you 35%, 36% from three, you might as well not have to worry about trade targets / buyout guys, because the skill set that he would bring to the team is pretty much all we were asking for when we were making our videos. Like, we did talk about defensive guards or maybe a big guy that can shoot a little bit, but he would bring a stronger, what is he, 6'9", 6'10", wing.
He's only 6'7", but yes,
it feels like he's much. He looks bigger.
It's because of the way he
he
crashes the glass. It's because he crashes so hard. He is. I don't know the stat to look for.
So
He's
he might
6'7".
mentally be able to be a little bit of a shooting big guy then. These damn stats, man, they always get me. It's just like, well, now my whole argument's dead. But he plays bigger than his size. And if he's continuing to do that while being semi-reliable from deep, where teams can't just elect to leave him every single possession and make the Celtics play 4-on-5 on offense, he should get real minutes, and he could be a welcome addition to the rotation as they roll forward here in the regular season. I think Monday could be a really great opportunity. I mean, with LeBron and Anthony Davis on the other end, even Austin Reeves, guys that he may have to match up against, he could prove himself. This is a big game. It's on national TV. It is the game on Christmas Day this year. It's the most prime time of all the games. Why not step up big? All right, I'm done.
No, I mean, his impact on the glass is really what does it for me. Like, you look at Queta, and he obviously has that impact, but it's different because Brissett is able to track down the ball no matter where it bounces to. And for a team that takes as many threes as the Celtics, I think that's seriously underrated, right? Because for as much as we've killed the Celtics for a lack of offensive rebounding in years, it is objectively harder to rebound the ball off a 3-point make than the layup, right? Like if you miss a layup, you kind of know where the ball is going to go. If you shoot a three, it's tough to gauge where it goes. Oshae Brissett is very good at gauging where the ball is going to go and tracking it down and grabbing the rebound.
And he jumps quick.
Exactly.
He gets to the ball quick. I don't know how he does it, but he is there before everybody else.
He's been so good at it this season. His offensive rebounding stats are great. I will say Neemias Queta's offensive rebounding stats, he gets 58.8% of his offensive rebound chances, which is kind of fucking insane. But Oshae Brissett's number, if you were curious, is, I can tell you in 1 second here. Sorry, I just had it and then I lost it. Oshae Brissett gets only 28.9% of his chances, but on 4.2 chances a game, which is the second highest on the team. So he's creating those opportunities for himself, which is impressive in and of itself. Brissett and Queta need more minutes. That's my stamp. I hope you agree because that's the title of the video. I think they both do, though. Past that, the rest of the team played all right. Lamar Stevens was all right. He played a little bit. Delano, Drew Peterson, first NBA bucket. Shout out Drew Peterson, got in the game.
No Jordan Walsh.
I'm just gonna say that. Why? For what reason?
There's only room for one bald guy.
Poor guy. At least why? You should end it with Lamar, Delano, Drew
put him
Peterson,
out there.
JD, and Jordan Walsh. Like there was no reason for him not to play. And it doesn't actually matter, but like what the fuck? It would have been.
It does kind of matter. Like it would have been good to see him get some run in a real NBA game, and we all get a chance to watch him. He gets to put the real uniform. Not that he doesn't already have it on. He gets to don the uniform on the hardwood, along with his teammates. Like that would be cool, and he would get support from the vets on the bench. Like maybe Joe Mazzulla really doesn't feel like he's ready yet. Who knows? I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I'm sure he's going to get asked about it tonight after the game and the press conferences.
Not great company though. Only 2 players didn't play in this game. Do you know who the other one was?
No. Oh, PJ Tucker. Yeah, I should have known that. They talked about him on the broadcast extensively, just sitting there, hanging out.
That they did. Drew Carter was funny today. I enjoyed Drew Carter. Shout out.
I like him, man. Yeah. He's pretty good. He kind of gets it.
I agree. All right. Any final thoughts on the game before we throw it back over?
Now we turn our attention to our Pistons, which by the time this is out, you'll know.
We'll see what happens. We'll turn it over to our past selves. All right. Thank you to our future selves for that lovely recap that I'm hoping was a positive one. I can't stress enough how much I dread when they lose because I know when they lose in an okay fashion, it's like, okay, it's fine. But when they lose in ugly fashion, like that Warriors game, I was like, there's going to be a lot of yelling. Like I was like, this is going to be treacherous.
I don't even think there was yelling. I think it was just calm anger, and then my Wi-Fi went out, and I beat the shit out of my computer. But I didn't yell at Jack.
It's true.
I just made fun of everybody.
It's very rarely directed towards me, but I wait for the day. But anyways, let's check out the interview with Jared Sullinger, Noah Dalzell of Celtics blog. Been to some games, fellow Celtics blog writer, very good at what she does. So make sure to check out all her work. Did an
Both
interview with
Celtics.
former Celtic Jared Sullinger, who I don't know if he's currently playing in China, but did at one point play in China, about his time as a Celtic. And there were some fun quotes in there, basically saying, Celtics are a worldwide thing. It's not just a Massachusetts or US thing. I played a year in South Korea, then 5 or 6 in China. Celtics Nation is everywhere. Said that team was, I don't want to say a culture shock, but a culture shock. He said, when he joined KG, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and Doc. We had a running joke in the locker room that they were androids, he said to everyone at practice. Also said, as far as his continued rooting for the Celtics, Boston community, was so accepting of who we were. Even in a losing season, they were still showing up to games. That just shows how loyal those fans are to the Boston Celtics. You got to tip your half off to those fans. Create a constant of it being a home environment. But I think that every year, I told you, I bleed green. It's a motto we have, and that motto sticks with you. Once a Celtic, always a Celtic. Celtic pride never leaves you. I'm always thankful for the Celtics. I'm always going to bleed green. I always want them to win a championship, even if I'm not on the roster. It's not something that's ever going to leave me. Shout out Sully, man. I love Jared Sullinger when he was on the team. He was great.
I always thought Sullinger was going to have like really good potential because he was a really great rebounder and he was starting to develop the 3-ball. So it was like one of those things. The game has shifted towards all these guys that can shoot. Some of the best bigs in the league are great shooters. Like Embiid is a solid, at least you have to respect him, 3-point shooter. Jokic is a very efficient 3-point shooter, maybe not this year, but in the playoffs he was, and also last season. Those type of guys are so difficult to guard, and they give you so much because they can hit the glass. It really felt like Sullinger had that potential, but it just never worked out. He went to Toronto, and then injuries caught up to him, and he went and played overseas. But he did tell Noah, he was like, I think that every year is the Celtics might win. And I would say he's just as dumb as the rest of us because I've thought it probably, let's see. I would have told you in the 2018 season they were going to win, but then injuries got them. So in fairness to me, maybe not the worst take. 2019, everybody was like they're winning. 2020, I don't think I had high hopes for actually, but they should have won. 21, I thought they would be back because Kemba was supposed to be healthy, and then that just didn't work out. They got off to a good start. They were 8-3, or I'm sorry, I think 11-3 or something like that. Crazy. They were top of the East, and then it just came crashing down. Kemba gets hurt. Whatever. Maybe I really haven't thought they were going to win every single year, but last year I thought they would win.
No, there's been a lot of years.
There was a point in every single one of those seasons, I think, that I thought that they would win. I didn't go in thinking that, but like in the 2020 season in the bubble, I thought they were going to win. In the 22 season when they were in the finals, I thought they'd win. I thought they would win last year. 21, I thought they were going to have a good season beforehand. Like all of these things have led to heartbreak. So, I mean, Sully's in it with us, dude. He's in there just as brain damaged as Jack and me.
Shout out Sully. Sully was on the teams. I mean, I said on the pod before, I didn't start like watching Celtics basketball till post KG Paul Pierce. So it was Jeff Green and Jared Sullinger. That was it. The boys, Brandon Bass, Phil Pressey. Shout out to them. We didn't put this on the sheet, but I threw it on there because I remembered it. Another former Celtic talking about the Celtics. Daniel Theis was on the podcast Paul George's podcast, and he did. He talked about Al Horford and the Celtics in his time, and I believe Aaron Baines a little bit too. Here's the quote. Basically said Horford and Baines took him in. This is hat tip, obviously. Mass Live transcribed it, and then Hardwood Houdini also put it up. Al Horford took me right to dinner. Theis said, sat down with me, talked to me about the NBA, the whole NBA life, what you need to do. Like, even if you don't play, stay ready, everything. I was so stunned in a positive way. That's somebody I just met a week ago, 2 weeks ago, just takes me to dinner, takes me under his wing, and is telling me all about the NBA life, trying to help me grow. He's the OG. He was the oldest, so calm. He was always there for everybody until his day. Until this day, excuse me, it was a typo. Every time I see him talking about the kids, about the family. So shout out Tyson, man. You love to see that.
I love Daniel Theis, dude. I was driving somewhere yesterday and I was thinking about Theis. I think it was because I saw on Twitter, like, since the Clippers picked them up, they've been very, very good. Like that rough stretch when they first made the trade for Harden was before they signed Theis. And then they finally go and get him. and all of a sudden they're winning games. So I was thinking
Mhm.
about him, and I was like, I would buy a Theis jersey like for the Clippers. Like I was thinking, like it would be kind of cool, like because you used to do the jersey collection where you had all the NBA jerseys and you were really into it.
Mhm.
It would be cool to have jerseys from different teams, but they were still kind of Celtics jerseys because of who was on the
Mhm.
back. Now for the Clippers, obviously, Pierce would probably be the number one.
Yeah.
That would be a
Yep.
good one to have. But
Garnett, Timberwolves.
Garnett Timberwolves. You could do Rondo for a zillion teams. Isaiah Thomas for a couple different teams.
Yep. Kelly
Antoine
Olynyk.
Walker has jerseys across different teams. You get a Hornets Kemba jersey. I'm trying to think of honorable players. So of course you could be
Okay.
like Kyrie Dallas, Grant
I
Williams
like Kelly.
Dallas, Kelly
Olynyk.
Olynyk.
The
No, I
clinic.
said Kyrie.
I know. I said Kelly. I was
Yeah.
thinking another one.
Kelly Olynyk had a good game against Detroit yesterday, by the way. Which we'll
We'll
talk
get to it. We'll get
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, all good. Also, while we're on Horford, quick, did you know Horford Hawks as
I
well?
saw
if you
this.
You saw him in the Ciara music video.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
it on
sorry.
Twitter yesterday.
I need to update the people. Apparently, Al Horford was in a
Very
Ciara
handsome Al
music
Horford.
video. Like he
The
is just
scarf.
in the music video, and I'm not going to play the music in case we get copyrighted. But look at him. Just look at him. He's just fully in
This
the
is
video.
so
This is
funny.
the most random shit. Look at him in there. Yeah, look at him. What are we doing?
He's
I
he's like at
saw.
a house party. It's not even like at the club.
Do you know?
He does look
Obviously.
villainous. Like he is set up to
Mm.
made to be look like you don't want to like him.
Jake Issenberg, shout out first to the floor, our friend. He tweeted out, he goes, Al Horford is the most attractive person in this video.
He's very
I
attractive.
kind of back him. He's an attractive dude.
Would.
Al Horford is a hoss.
Yeah.
What a guy. Love Al Horford. But
It
anyways,
would be funny if like I ever like asked him a question one day. He's like, "Aren't you the guy that said would?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
you stand
But
on
like
it.
I'm not alone. Like ask them. They'll tell and it's like the other reporters in the room.
You stand on your business there.
Stand on
all
my
right.
business.
Let's go on checking with the email, see what people had to say. I know we have a few today to go over. Let's head over there. First one from RJ about a day ago. What's popping for you youngsters in the crowd? ... That's what an ABA game used to look like. 3-pointers and dunks. Evening, guys. No Horford, no Tatum, no problem. Celtics weathered the Kings' best shot in the first quarter, giving up 6 turnovers and 41 points, and only trailed by 3. After that, they had their measure. And just kept playing Celtics basketball wire to wire. No letdowns, no slowdowns. Just beautiful, fast-paced ball. Everyone helping, everyone out, leading to 35 assists on 51 baskets. This is what this year's squad is capable of night in and night out. What I love most about the first quarter was the Celtics' poise. Even when the Kings were raining down threes, they never played nervous. I hope all the ankles are better for the Clippers game. Be well and get your rest, Sam. There you go.
I need my rest, dude.
I forgot Porzingis rolled his ankle in that Kings game. He looked okay.
Yeah, because he rolled his ankle, and all of a sudden he was the best player on the floor.
And he started murdering.
Like, actually, they should have Porzingis go out there every game, and somebody puts him in an ankle lock before the game.
well, maybe not that, but
you don't do a full force, just enough to like awaken him.
Okay, just so he gets the feeling. I got you. Next one. What's pop? It's from RJ again. What's poppin'? Sharing is caring. Morning, guys. Love the Thursday pod. Although today's ratless has me wondering if Sam would like a dog courtside if it was covered in melted cheese. Anyways,
I don't get it
because you said you hated melted cheese. You hated
that's
the
right.
cheese, but you liked it when the string cheese was melted or the shredded cheese.
No.
Anyways,
I don't eat dogs.
When I was wondering in this season of giving, what did the numbers look like for which Celtics gets the highest percentage of baskets off assists? And conversely, who tends to play in the corner by themselves, the most metaphorically speaking? I didn't know where to find the information, so I turned to Jack and Sam, statistical seers for the alliteration is killing me. More alliteration. I'm in a festive move. I'm sorry. I folded. I asked because I think that for the most part, everyone should fall around the team rate, which is currently 58.6%. Maybe the playmakers would be a bit lower since they are tasked with creating shots. Thanks for playing with the data. Curious to see what that turns up. Asking for who gets the most of their baskets off assists. That's a great question.
Prediction, Hauser number 1.
Yes. I don't know if I know where to look at this. I don't know if
stats,
I know.
Dude. Like, I think we need to stop looking at stats as a people and just be like, hey, I think that guy's good. And that's it.
Yeah, you think so?
Like I was writing an article today and I was like looking for stats and I was like, damn, I fucking hate this, dude. I hate stats, but you have to use them because you have to back your point. Because nobody's gonna take your word for it if you're just like, yeah, this dude's been good.
Yeah.
I don't even
agree.
remember
I'm
what I was trying to find.
You were just angry.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, people like stats. I hate people.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately unsure of where. Excuse
Oh,
me.
you know what it was?
Yeah.
Is I wanted to know what Peyton Pritchard was shooting on corner threes, and I couldn't find it.
I know where to find that.
Where do you find that? Tell me.
So you go to here. You go for the corner threes, you go here, you go to it's either shooting or shot dashboard. I have to double check. Yep, you go to shooting, you go by zone, and then you go corner three.
I'm
And then
not
you
gonna
can just
lie to
type
you, I
in
did not know there was a scroll. Like,
a
I didn't know
scroll
you
like
could
here.
scroll. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. So
Or
Peyton
no,
Pritchard shooting 46.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. 46% from the corner.
46.4%. Pretty good. I don't know where to find assists though, because you can see assists total. I'm sorry,
Try
RJ. I might let you
tracking
down here.
and shots.
I don't know if they have shots.
Hold on.
Touches, passing, catch and shoot.
We may be able to help each other here because I swear to God, I saw like. You know
No
what? I'm
shot.
not looking. I'm not looking. Not looking. I'm getting mad thinking of the NBA has the worst navigation of their statistics.
not great.
It's so hard to get to everything. Like, don't you think you would
It's
want
not great.
people like being able to use your fucking layout?
Oh, wait. Pause. Percentage. This looks like it will be where it is. This looks like they should have something. Percent of 2-point field goals made assisted. Percentage of field goals made assisted. Yes. Look, I'm a genius. Okay, hold up. Now let me sort by Celtics. Tell you, field goals made assisted. Oshae Brissett is actually your leader by a hair. It is Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser is assisted on 90.5% of his field goals. And of the top six, it is Horford. Fewest assisted on is Jayson Tatum by a wide margin. He is over 10 percentage points lower than the Celtics. And that just goes back to the point that I always make. They need to work harder to get him looks within the flow of the offense, in my opinion. There's way too much him standing on his own. And I think part of that is Tatum, but I think a part of it is the Celtics scheme in general. So
I think this is a very good statistic for Derek White's credibility as a initiator, because he's just right around the rest of the star guys. Like, it's not like he's getting a ton of help and that's why he's scoring so much.
That is, I mean, can't say I'm too surprised, but every single three Horford has made this season has been assisted on. You have to imagine everyone. Anyways, glad I found that. It took me a second, but I did find it eventually. Sorry for the filibuster, but it was worth it. Thank you, RJ, for the email. Final email today. Ryan Hall, thank you for emailing again. We always love when new people and new faces send in emails.
We encourage it.
Please do. Queta versus number 15. Hey guys, I was thinking about what you guys are saying on who should fill the final roster spot, and I honestly think we should convert Queta so we have him for the playoffs. But if not, I think the two types of players I would go after is an offensive-minded guard who can microwave off the bench, so Peyton Pritchard, or a stretch big. Horford can stretch out, but he's getting older. I don't hate that one as much, but I like the defensive versatility. That's important to me. But the big thing here, yeah, I don't know in what spots. But the big thing is really one spot. If we give up, we aren't going to be able to use Queta long term. Do you guys think we should go after somebody or give it to Queta if the other guys are optioned? Much love, Ryan H. To be honest, I kind of half forgot the Queta was two-way, not on standard roster. I think giving it to Queta is the smart decision, in my opinion, at this point. I agree with Ryan.
I think this is a good take by Ryan. I think we've seen in I also think the Celtics were right to give Queta a two-way to start because you really didn't know what you could get out of him. They brought in a bunch of guys this summer, and there was a lot of room to earn a spot on the roster. Queta so far has looked very solid when they put him out there. He's not perfect. He might not be better than Luke Cornett. That's up for debate. But for one thing, Jesus Christ, one thing is for sure. I've just had a rough day, dude. Just can't talk.
I've been coughing. I've struggled to get through these emails. Continue this. Sorry.
So he has not been someone that's out on the floor and you're like, oh, I know he's out there because they're down like 5 points now. Like,
Yeah.
he's not somebody that gets picked on. He's not somebody that gets exploited. He does a very solid job of just being himself and contributing that way. He doesn't do too much. He's a decent lob threat. He can block shots okay, and he really hustles on his misses because he doesn't have the greatest touch around the rim. He's missed a good amount of little flip shots and stuff like that, but he does not hesitate to hit the glass. And I think that's a really important trait for him to have because it's how he's going to earn his time onto the floor. People love that. It does shift the defense into a bit of a frenzy. Even if it's just a quick shot and a quick rebound, they are adjusting. They're thinking about getting back on offense, and guys do end up getting open looks. There was one, I think Pritchard got an open three out of it a couple of games ago. I think it was Golden State. And he was good in that Warriors game because they just had Dario Saric out there trying to compete with him.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kate has been good this year. I didn't really think about extensively giving him the final roster spot, but I do think it makes a lot of sense. I think he's been good enough to do that. I think he's young. I think he's a quality backup big man option for them to develop moving forward. And I think the talent's clearly there and the energy and the effort, which I think is important too. So good call, Ryan. We agree.
The vibes.
Also, shout out Inpopnito because we just forgot to put the background up. But thank you, Inpopnito. Shout out what's popping.
Say what's popping.
Comment what's popping. But without further ado, let's move on to the NBA section. And we're making it official. It's its own segment now. Did the Pistons win, Sam?
No. They tried really hard and they were close.
They really tried.
It was, I want to say it was a 2-point game at one point in the fourth quarter. Like, I had the game on and I was watching it at dinner. I'm rooting for them to lose at this point.
Yeah.
I think the storyline has become fun.
Uh-huh.
It's something that makes their games must see. And it's also funny. Like, it's funny that they just keep losing games. The Pistons fan base was irate. They were chanting, sell the team. And they couldn't beat the Utah Jazz. Now, you may be saying, well, like, Utah's okay. They're 11-18. Well, they didn't play Markkanen or Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson.
Keontae George.
No. The leading scorer was Kelly Olynyk. The man hung 28 on them like it was nobody's business.
The clinic. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, you can't have Colin Sexton put up 19, 4, and 8. Chris Dunn have a double-double against you.
Oh, Sexton did play. I'm sorry.
He did. They didn't have Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen, Talon Horton Tucker, and
that's
somebody else who I'm forgetting.
Did you say Markkanen?
Markkanen, yeah. You can't. 9 of 31 from 3. Guys, please, dear God, what are we doing?
I was watching the game and I actually was like, oh, like we talked about Cade in like a chat with Tyler Rucker. And I was like, oh, like, I don't know if he's like actually like legit or not. And he actually didn't look too bad.
He's legit.
And he would average way more assists if these guys didn't shoot 9 of 31. That would be a big help for his assist numbers if his teammates could play. I don't know if this is bad drafting by the Pistons. I don't know if it's poor money decisions. It could be both. But they're still losing. And it's sad to watch. And you have to feel bad for the fan base. These people have not seen a playoff win since 2008. They have not seen a regular season win in almost 2 months. This is a sad day for the Pistons. They are what? What is the record? 26 or is it 28? What is the record?
I don't know. I've seen both. I know what you're talking about.
I keep seeing both. People need to make up their fucking mind because I'm getting pissed because I want to know what I'm rooting for.
All right. I think the confusion.
I've seen people say the Celtics game will be the record game.
I could be wrong, but if I had to guess, because the 28 games in a row was spanning 2 seasons. So it was the end of one regular season into the next.
Who gives a fuck?
I think 26 was single season, 1 season. Okay. If I had to guess, that's what I assume the difference is.
All right.
So that's what I'm gonna assume.
The double season one doesn't count.
I agree.
We want the single season stuff, baby. That's where real legends are made.
My monitor keeps shutting off. Can you still hear me? Oh, there we go.
I can
Hello.
hear
So I just wanted
Wow.
to throw a shout out to the Jazz for this
24.
incredible work. Just take a listen and take a watch here. This is what they posted. The Jazz posted this to TikTok after the game.
Hey, Patrick.
What?
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
I mean, that's fucking awesome. You're getting fucking SpongeBob TikToked meme.
Before we move on, we may need to filibuster quick because I'm curious.
That's
about
fine.
something.
That's fine. What are you looking up?
I want to go to the Nets subreddit because I want to see if they're like kind of mad that they have 2 games in a row against the Pistons because they are in double jeopardy of being the team. I don't think anybody wants to be the team. You know what I'm saying?
No one wants to be the team anymore. This is now a pride thing. You can't lose to the Pistons. You can't lose to the Pistons. I mean, speaking of Reddit, I figured we'd bring it up eventually, but I know you pointed out.
Don't
fan.
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. I have it
All
on the
right.
rat list. Don't say it.
Oh, it's on the rat list? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was part of it. Sure. All
I
right.
bolded on the sheet. Don't say this before. I should have just said it. I don't know why I didn't. But don't say this.
Save for this. I see. Okay, I'll save it. Well, now the tension's built. You asked me to filibuster. I'm trying to think of stuff to filibuster with the Pistons.
I've got read it up. The Pistons lose and now have dropped 25 straight. The Nets will have the opportunity to hand them a record-tying 26 loss and then set the record with 27 straight on December 26th. Let's go to the comments. What do Nets fans have to say? This is unironically our NBA Finals. Rest the starters versus the Nuggets so we can be ready for the Pistons. I agree. I'd rather take an L against the Nuggets than lose even one game against these Pistons. Let McCall play the first half and then rest everyone. There's a gif of the girl trying to eat Jell-O, but the spoon's shaking because she's nervous. There's a picture of Joe Tsai saying this is bigger than basketball. I hate this sidebar says I'm legitimately afraid. Wild thing, I could see us losing this game the way we are playing right now. I'm fucking shook, bro. And we can stop there.
So bad.
The Celtics subreddit will be on fire if this goes to next Thursday's game against the Pistons. Because let me tell you, as a Celtics fan, I don't think the team is going to beat the Pistons. I think they're going to dick around and they might find out. But also there is that wrinkle. Oh, we don't want to be the team. We don't want to be the record-losing team, right? So there's that to it too. But after last night's loss, Cade Cunningham, we're not 2-26 bad. No way we are that bad. So yes, I think we can turn it around. I think we can play a much better brand of basketball, executing the game plan, not turning it over, keeping your man in front of you. I was the head of that snake. This isn't about the system. This is about the players and what we're doing on the floor. Those 3 things aren't about a system. Now, after yesterday's loss, they will play Brooklyn twice, the Celtics, Raptors, Rockets, Jazz, then the Warriors. Nerlens Noel, former Detroit Piston, was bought out last year, said it is not on the players, that it's a good group of guys they got there. It's on the front office and organization. So there's that wrinkle to this too. There is turmoil in Detroit.
Listen, all I saw was somebody quote tweeted that Cade Cunningham quote of "We're better than 2-26," and she said, "Who's going to tell them? Who's going to let them know that they are in fact bad enough to be 2-26? Because you are, buddy."
The Pistons are my favorite thing ever, dude. Just thank God for them. Like, it's December, so we've had so far the in-season tournament to propel us through the early part of the season. Now we have a monstrous losing streak to sit and just watch. This is like when you ever play, I mean, you could say hot potato, but like you ever play, they called it Wonder Ball at summer camp. And basically like it's hot potato. Wonder Ball, pass the ball around the circle. And whoever has it when the song ends is out. Like
the Wonder Ball.
The Pistons are the Wonder Ball.
Round.
Yes. the Pistons are the Wonder Ball. You don't want to be the team that loses.
Yeah.
If you lose, You should have to like wear like a patch on your jersey that says we lost to the Pistons. Like it was our fault.
Mm-hmm. Bad, really bad. All right, let's look at the rest of the NBA standings. We just spent 9 minutes talking about the Pistons. Let's see how the rest of the league is doing because we know the Pistons haven't won yet, so not really much to talk about there. Here we go. Bucks have now won 7 in a row. Bulls and Hawks on little streaks of their own. Bulls have really turned it around since Zach LaVine went down.
Sure have.
Coincidence.
I wonder why. I wonder, is Zach LaVine bad? This has been a big year for me, and we're going to get to the other part next. But of like my saying like this guy sucks, this is like not going to happen, this guy is not going to pan out. This has been a great 2 months for me of things I've been saying for years. Zach LaVine has proven to be a losing player because as soon as he's not in the lineup, Bulls are back.
Bulls are back is correct. Top of the West is doing well as well. Timberwolves 1, Thunder 3, Nuggets 2 in a row. Bottom of the West is cooking as well. Warriors, Jazz, Grizzlies 3-1, 2 in a row, respectively. Grizzlies turning it around. I'm telling you, Grizzlies will be in the playoffs by the end of the year at post play, and I think they'll be a playing team to make the playoffs.
Grizzlies are our team because of Marcus.
Shout out. Hope he comes back and helps. I agree.
What if they trade him?
Past that, Nets have lost 4 in a row. They're struggling now. They got the Pistons twice. Uh-oh. No bueno. Not good. Interesting though.
25 on the bottom.
So they've lost 4 in a row. So that means they are. Never mind. I was gonna. Excuse me. Thought they were. I was doing math wrong. Pacers struggling mightily.
Yeah.
5-5 in their last 10, but they are 1-5 in their last 6. So they are not very good right now. They can't stop anything. Magic have not won since they played the Celtics. 4 losses in a row. What do you notice here, Sam? Any takeaways?
Wizards on a win streak.
1.
As they head into Golden State for the Jordan Poole return game tonight.
Jordan Poole's chucking. Oh no, Draymond's not playing.
So I think it was Worldwide Wob asked on Twitter, what if Draymond just buys a ticket to sit next to the Warriors bench? And Bobby Marks commented and was like, the suspension literally says he cannot buy a ticket to go to the game. So Draymond will not be there.
Who posed that question?
Worldwide Wob.
That's phenomenal. I love that Bobby Marks actually responded and said he cannot.
Well, it is a good question. He was like, what's preventing him from just showing up and being like, I hate Jordan Poole, dude. You want me to? This would actually be a great prove it night for Draymond, though. He's there, and he wants to prove he's not going to punch people in the face anymore. So if he was able to sit there the whole game while Jordan Poole was there, somebody we know he likes to punch in the face, that would be a big step in Draymond's recovery, right?
I will say you've said it a million times. This is the ultimate. Draymond Green was right.
Draymond Green was absolutely right, dude. He deserves maybe a spin kick too. You could have told me that Draymond hit him with a steel chair. I would have been, he probably deserved it.
Tough look. All right, Sam, I'm going to let you lead this because this is your next Sam is right moment. So just me.
Consistently through last season, maybe even before, I stood on business and I said, I don't think NBA players can recover from being fat.
Yes.
Everything is coming up me today. Zion's contract is no longer guaranteed. Now, according to The Athletic, the reason for this contract no longer being guaranteed is because Zion only played 29 games last season.
Correct.
The Athletic writes, by missing more than 22 games last season, Williamson triggered a clause that turned the salary he is owed for the 25-26, 26-27, and 27-28 seasons from guaranteed to non-guaranteed. You very rarely see non-guaranteed multi-year deals in the NBA. This is a football thing. That means the Pelicans have the contractual power to waive Williamson after the 24-25 season with no financial ramifications. This is great for them if they want to rebuild. Though rival team executives believe that would only happen in extreme circumstances. And if Williamson misses significant time this season, it could cut into his guaranteed salary for next year. Now, The contract also has ways for Williamson to earn back the guarantees by playing in enough games and hitting specific weigh-in checkpoints, which will not happen because guys don't come back from being fat. When approached by The Athletic, the Pelicans several times declined to comment, answer questions about the contract, or make Williamson available to speak. Williamson's agent, Austin Brown, did not return messages seeking comment. Now, another fun tidbit about Zion's contract. He has a fat clause in the contract. Last summer, technically it is last summer, 2022. The Athletic did a report on Williamson's extension. According to NOLA.com report, Williamson's contract features a clause that states he will have weigh-ins throughout his deal to measure his combined body weight and body fat percentage to ensure it doesn't exceed a total of 295. If it does, guaranteed money in Williamson's extension, which kicks in at the start of the season that is currently underway, can be reduced. So the Athletic is not reporting that is why the guarantee has gone away. But essentially, Zion indirectly ruined his guaranteed money because he got fat. He missed games because he was fat. Whether he exceeded the threshold is one thing, but he was not on the court last year because he was slamming Mountain Dews. And that's a fact.
He is listed. I want to see what his listed weight is at on Basketball Reference. We want to guess. Guess what his listed weight is. I would like you to guess.
It's like him and Trump. Like Trump said he was 6'3", 215.
If he's 6'3", 215, I am fucking 900 pounds. There's no shot, pal. What do you think his weight is?
I'll guess, or 220.
284 is what he's listed at.
The man is playing with fire. I mean, if he has 11% body fat, he's already at 295. And just to like clarify, I'm pretty sure like 11% body fat is like nothing like that exceptional.
Yeah.
I
certainly have 11% body fat. So
I don't know. I still might. I don't know.
Not good for Zion. Not good for Zion. Anyways, I mean, I'm rooting for him. I know you don't like him. I think
this is a long game of him just trying to like not play for the Pelicans. But also, if that was the case, I think he would have just signed a 1-year deal and got rid of it. Like he's still jeopardizing what I've begun to call just an NBA contract, where he can like force his way out and still be on this contract. The contract is no longer guaranteed. Low key, if I'm another team in the league, Zion's trade value just went way up. Because if it doesn't work out, you can just be like, see you later. This is good for the Pelicans. Right? Like, think about it like this. Like, if I'm an NBA GM, I do not want to trade for Zach LaVine. He's under contract for a long time. He makes a lot of money each season, and I don't think he's an impactful player. Zion is just out of shape. Now, I don't really think guys come back from being fat. But if you're an NBA GM, well, you can even be like the Pistons, right? You can look at the Pistons and you can be like, look, we have nothing going for us. But we can get Zion. I don't know how much money he makes per season. You can match the salary. I'm sure you can throw Bogdanovich in there. And then whatever else the Pelicans would require. You can get him to Detroit. And if you think you can get him in shape, it's worth it. And if not, you can cut him and you have cap space again. If you're the Pistons, that might not matter because you're not really going to get anybody with the cap space. But it's a good way to free up money at the very least. Like, if you're a cap jam team, Zion's contract is not the worst thing anymore.
I agree.
I don't think they're going to give him up for free. But
like you said, if they take the chance on he just doesn't want to play in New Orleans, like, as much as you can't come back from being fat, you can, right? Like, if you commit to it. And I understand your perspective is it's a mindset thing. He won't break the mindset. But if part of the mindset is I don't want to be in New Orleans and he gets to a place he wants to play, like, I think there's a greater chance that it can happen. So regardless, next thing we got is the Basketball Hall of Fame announced the players who are, and coaches and everything, who are eligible to be inducted. And we're just going to go quick hitters on some of the big names and say yes or no. Thoughts?
Sure.
We'll rapid fire. We're not going to go through all fucking million of them, but the big names I'm talking about. They nominated the 2008 Redeem Team. Why? It's weird. I don't
really think teams should be able to go in. Like, does that mean like the 16 Warriors are going to go in because they set the all-time record for wins?
I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, I guess you put them in on understat. It's weird. Regardless, sure, I suppose. Rick Barnes and John Line Phillips is not a first-time nominee, but he's up. Should he be a Hall of Famer?
Chauncey Billups?
Yeah.
I don't really know what his like career stats look like, and you could probably like point at him and be like Kyle Lowry. But
Sure.
at the same time, like he was the best player on a championship team, I think. I was like
15-3 and 5 career averages, 5-time All-Star, NBA champ, Finals MVP, 2-time All-Defensive, 3-time All-NBA.
I think so. I was
Borderline.
6 when they won the championship, so I really can't give you like details.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is it's impressive to lead a team to a championship. Billups had a respectable career. Like he played after that. He was part of a Pistons team that went to several Eastern Conference Finals. They were in at least 3 off the top of my head, maybe more. And I would say he deserves it. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Celtics,
Next big
Chauncey
name.
Billups.
There you go. Vince Carter, first-time nominee.
Yeah, I think so.
He
Vince is like the big one.
He gets in for sure. 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. Yeah, he'll
if nothing else, but for the memes, I got one more in me.
This is true.
I love that.
He's one of the all-time leading scorers. I think he's definitely up there on the list.
He's towards the top of 3-point points made too.
No fucking way Joey Crawford is still nominated. That's fucking awesome.
He has to be in.
He's been nominated before and hasn't gotten in for what it's worth.
He needs to get in, dude. He's like the face of officiating, except Scott Foster. Who, by the way, should be in someday.
You remember when Jokic got ejected for nothing, or like one of those bullshit ejections? Joey Crawford was at the game and they panned to him in the crowd.
Was he disgusted?
He was just sitting there like, looking, and somebody, I think Reggie Miller on the broadcast goes, Joey wouldn't do that shit.
Probably wouldn't, dude. Joey Hoss.
Next name on the list. Let's see. I'm looking for like the big names. Bill Laimbeer, first time.
He hasn't got in at all.
This is his first year being
coach?
nominated. This is his first time being nominated. Bill Laimbeer.
It's probably because he's coaching the WNBA.
I think this is.
I'm gonna. Sometimes it's not our turn to talk. Is what I'm gonna say on this.
Unknown. Okay, sure.
I know we have some OGs that like to listen to this show, and I can tell you right now that those people will be like, "Fuck Bill Laimbeer." So I am not going to speak. Because I
4-time All-Star,
4-time
All-Star, 2-time champ. Again, I don't know enough either. Sean Marion is up again. He didn't get in last time, but now he's up again. I would argue Sean Marion has a good shot. I think he should be considered. He is 4-time All-Star, 2-time NBA, 1-time champ. I think it's pretty on par with Chauncey Billups, to be honest. It's up there, but I don't know. Maybe not. I think
I don't know if he was like ever the best guy on the team. You know,
I don't think you have to be the best guy to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, certainly not. I mean, like Kevin McHale was never. Well, I guess Bird retired, and he might have been the best guy in the Celtics for a year or two. But like
look at Manu, even, right? Like,
sure, yeah. I mean, you had the benefit of being on a competitive team. You're not always going to be the best guy. Sure. He won. He was on the Mavericks team that won, right?
Yeah, he was in the 2011 Mavs.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jerry West is in as a contributor. He's being nominated. So like
literally like as like a guy that like, hey, what do you think of this? And he's like, draft this guy. But he told him to draft Kobe.
This is true. He deserves the credit. Yeah, I think Vince Carter is the only one that's like, yeah, get that guy in there. Definitely. I think that's about it. Rick Barnes is a coach too. But anyways,
Joey
okay.
Crawford.
Sure, I'll give it to Joey. That was the only thing we're going there. Next thing we got is from, I believe, Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype. He said that, quote, the Knicks are among several teams who have expressed exploratory interest in Hawks guard Dejounte Murray. This is after the Knicks have applied for a disabled player exception for Mitch Robinson because he's likely going to miss the season. Jericho Sims also out some weeks. The Knicks are down bad. My question is, how well does Murray fit next to Brunson? Not like he's shooting the ball better this year. I think it's an awkward fit. That said, I also think it's an awkward fit in Atlanta. I don't know.
It is an awkward fit in Atlanta, and it was always going to be an awkward fit in Atlanta because the man was just never going to be put in a position to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, the question is, do they trade
sitting
him
next to Trae Young, who loves to play my career and sit on the basketball? He's no, it's true. Like it's like playing next to Luka. Like you're not going to thrive and be the absolute best. It's just not a great fit. Like I don't know if the Knicks are a good fit either. To your point, like the Knicks don't need more guards. Like I think the Knicks have really, really good supporting guards. They have Brunson, who's a beast. They have Quickly, who's a great bench, like plug and play guy, who they also reportedly want to trade. They have Quentin Grimes, who's a good 3-and-D guy. They have DiVincenzo, who's a good 3-and-D guy. There's no need to bring in like another star guard. If you're the Knicks, what you should really be looking for is probably another big guy. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's going to be out for the season. You put it on the sheet. The poor guy, he posted like the Snapchat of like, he's like, dude, like I do everything they tell me. I just can't stay healthy.
I know.
That sucks.
It sucks. He's good too. You know who should
He is
trade for
good.
Dejounte Murray? The Nets. That is the perfect spot for Dejounte Murray. They are a legitimate playoff caliber team now, and I think you add a all-star caliber point guard to pass the ball to Claxton, Bridges, and Johnson. Like that's a damn good team. Like if you are them, you could give up. Like you get it. Say you get in on the action with the Raptors and the Hawks on a Pascal trade, right? I'm not gonna like share screen and go to trade, but just for the sake of salaries, I'm gonna pull it up on my end. Just to, like if you're the Nets, you say, hey, you guys want Siakam. Maybe the Raptors want Dejounte Murray back in the deal, but if I'm the Raptors, I want a fresh start. I want picks. I want to rebuild. I want to let Scotty run the point effectively. So I'm like, maybe not. You're the Nets. You say, okay, we'll help facilitate this. We would love Dejounte. He would fit on our roster well. Dejounte goes there, right? The Raptors can take back DeAndre Hunter. Siakam ends up going to the Hawks. And then if you are the Nets, you can offer back, young players like Day'Ron Sharpe, a big man if you want. You could offer, Royce O'Neal if the Hawks want to upgrade at the forward position, then they have to give up a little additional salary. You can offer all of the Phoenix picks if you want to really compete. You could offer the early Phoenix picks this year. You can offer like other picks you got from Philly, like
good picks, dude.
Well, it's true too.
They might miss everything, dude.
What I'm saying is they have no reason. They have no reason to tank though. So getting Murray, I think, would be huge. I don't know. I like the Nets for a lot.
I agree. I think the Nets have like
weird.
grounds to make moves. Speaking of the Knicks, did you see the Taj Gibson thing? Like Taj Gibson played a lot of minutes yesterday, or the last time the Knicks played, and they posted a picture of him, and they were like, "This dude did not sign up for this. He was exhausted." Tibbs got him back, and he just put him out there. He said, "Get ready to run, buddy. Get ready to throw up."
He played 13 minutes. It's not even like he played 30.
Find the picture. I don't remember who posted it, but the man was gassed.
I gotta look on Twitter quick now.
Go on Twitter. You found
it. It's the first. This shit's so fucking funny.
He's exhausted. The poor guy.
Oh my God.
Someone even has their hand on his back, like comforting him. They're like, "It's all right, God. Big dog. You'll get through it."
Dude is 38. He's not ready. Oh, man. All right. Last NBA thing before the rat list is the Sixers are reportedly interested in Zach LaVine and OG Anunoby. This comes from Shams Charania of The Athletic. Quote, Zach LaVine, OG Anunoby. Those are the two names to keep an eye on as guys that Philadelphia has monitored. Now, if I'm Philly fans, this is the reaction. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. I like that one.
Have they won 6 straight, or is that another team? Or is that Milwaukee?
Milwaukee has won 6 straight. Sixers are 7-3 in their last 10.
Okay.
And their losses have been to the Bulls, and before that, though, they were on a streak because then their last loss before the Bulls loss on Monday was the Celtics, which was all the way at the start of the season.
Sure. So the Sixers are like in a weird, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it spot where their team is probably playing better than a lot of people thought it would, considering how they entered the season. I think OG Anunoby is a player worth adding, but I also think that Masai Ujiri is not going to give OG Anunoby to the Sixers for a price that the Sixers want to pay with the team they currently have on the floor. Like, he's going to make them blow up in gut pieces that they may not want to give up for OG. And as far as Zach LaVine goes, if you're a contender, just take a look at the Bulls and see how well they've played since that man stopped playing basketball. Doesn't that say something about him? And I mean this satirically, but I also do mean it seriously. there are certain players in the NBA. Who did you ask Tyler Rucker about? Did you say Alonzo Trier?
Yeah. Randomly.
So Tyler Rucker's answer to you on him was essentially he wanted to be the guy so bad and didn't have it. Zach LaVine has taken on the role in Chicago as the guy. Zach LaVine can be a serviceable version of the guy, but he's not going to be the guy. You're not going to win games with him as the guy. If he goes to Philly, he's not necessarily going to be the guy, but can he adjust to playing a smaller role, or is he going to take the shine away from Tyrese Maxey, who's been a revelation? That's the question you have to ask yourself if you're Philly. And if I'm the GM, if I'm Daryl Morey, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not risking what I found in Tyrese Maxey this year to bring in this guy who's won a playoff game, his whole one single playoff game. Hell no. You all right?
Yeah, I didn't hear you for a sec. You cut out for me. I don't know if it was on my end, but you were choppy. So
What was the
I
last
hope
thing
it.
you heard?
So you were talking about Tyrese Maxey. I'm hoping it was on my end. I switched tabs, so maybe it was that. But you were just talking about Tyrese Maxey, and I agree. I mean,
Too long.
if I'm
didn't
Daryl
read.
Morey,
I'm not sacrificing what I found in Tyrese Maxey, him playing so much better to bring in.
I caught the end of it. I caught the end of that part. I'll just check the audio. I'll probably end up leaving that in because it'd be funny. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, if I'm the Sixers, it's all on Anunoby because I think Anunoby would really be a huge piece for them. I think he'd be a perfect third, fourth option. I will say it's not obviously at the same level as Maxey, but Tobias Harris playing really good basketball this season, right? And as much as he's on the end of year of his deal, like you would still get Anunoby to replace him and take his role, but at the same time, you don't want to push him down in the depth chart even further and take away his starting spot and disrupt the rhythm he's in. So I think you'd have to find that balance and make sure that he's still going to have a large role because he's playing great basketball. Like he's been great this season for them. And I think they could coexist.
He could help. He could help. Like if Chicago got him, if for some reason Philly was brain dead and they wanted LaVine, like Tobias Harris is a guy that when he was the guy, his Clippers teams were actually pretty good. Like they were so good that Philly went and got Tobias Harris, and it was a big deal because he was playing so well. Was he an all-star?
Mm-hmm. No, he had a case though. He was like in it that year.
Like he was actually good, like having to be the guy. Like he could help a Bulls team if so. The Zach LaVine thing is just like don't do it if you're Philly, but if you're Chicago and you want to get Harris back, go for it, dude. That's gonna be great for you, especially if your team's kind of figuring it out. Like I'm sure he could be a helpful guy.
I agree. All right, let's get into the rat list here. See what we got. Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
How many things do you have?
Unsure. I'm making it on the fly. I have a couple in mind, but
okay. All right, I'll start soft.
Run it.
I was at the gym today, and I've bitched about the fly machines at the gym before. If you don't know the fly machine, you can use it both two ways. You can do your back muscles, you can do your chest muscles. They have bars you can grab, and you either push them towards each other, or you pull them towards each other. Whatever you want to work out, you do that. These machines are very popular, and at times it's difficult to find a chance to use it. Today, very fortunately, one of them is open when I am ready to do that part of my workout. So I go over there, sit, put my stuff down on the machine, and this guy comes scrambling over to me. I thought he was going to be like, I'm using this. I was like ready to commit murder because I was already like kind of irritated. I don't even remember why. I just think it was like one of those things the guy's ready to be done in there. But he comes flying over to me. He's like I take my headphones out, which is like not like a big deal, but like it's like I've interrupted what I'm doing. What? And I'm like, oh, like, what do you need, man? And he's like, oh, like, I didn't wipe this down. Like, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, if you didn't sweat on the fucking machine, I don't need you to wipe it down. If you're spraying it with the spray and then using a paper towel, you are making the machine more gross than it already was. Like, I don't want the wetness of the spray to get on me. If it's dry, if you're not like battling a severe illness that you think I might catch, or you didn't vomit on it, I don't need you to wipe down the machine, let alone interrupt me.
At least he was being nice. At least he wasn't trying to take your shit, like yoink the weights back.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't like trying to take my shit, but like,
Yeah.
just like read the room. Like, if I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, like, just leave me alone. And I've seen like people like that stuff happens every once in a while where it's like, I need to wipe this down. It's like you just interrupted. Like, you're wasting my time. Like, I don't care if you wipe it down or not. And also, like, if you really like, I'm not one of these people, but if you care about like the environment a whole lot, like they're burning mad paper towels like to do this. Hey, Planet Fitness does not have paper towels in the bathroom. They have the fucking stupid hand dryers, but you can burn paper towels to wipe a machine. You can do that. Can't use them for your hands. They don't have them for your hands.
Of course not. Of course not. Rat list school bus. So I was going
Good
about
rat
my day
list.
today, errands, and I had to be home by 2 to record Talking Seas with Sam and Bobby Kravitsky. Go check it out. It went up yesterday or 2 days ago now. But I was driving along, get up the road, and I get behind a school bus, and I wanted to jump into traffic. And luckily for me, it turned the opposite way I was going, so I was only behind it for like a couple minutes. There's nothing more infuriating. And while I'm on the topic of the roads, I've definitely rat listed this before, but there in my town, there's an intersection where I'm trying to do like a visual example. It's like a trident, right? So there's one road coming one way, and then there's 3 options that the car from that way can go, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can also have cars coming the other ways of the trident. So like if they were 3, it's kind of like a rake, like a 3-pronged rake, right? Going diagonal like that. Now, all 3 prongs of the rake of the trident have a stop sign, obviously. The base of the trident, no stop sign. They have the right of way to go. You have to wait. Fine. It's annoying. Takes a while. Fine. Needs a light. However, the rat list is when people from the base of the trident coming down the main road think they have a stop sign. And so they stop in the middle of everything to let someone go. Brother, you're causing the traffic now.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of the way. No, like understand what's happening. Move. Don't let someone go because you're causing it difficulties for everybody because they're gonna not know what to do. Go. Fuck off. Like get out of the way. There's especially the worst types of people are when in that situation, like if you're on a main road, like 1 and you let somebody go, I'm not gonna complain too much. If you are in that spot and there are people waiting at each rung of the rake, the trident, whatever, like there, and you stop coming up the main road to let someone go with nobody behind you, hell, 7th layer, goodbye. The worst. Keep going so we can go after
that to
you.
my girlfriend, because she has this like complex the pedestrians are like they should have every right, which like if you see a pedestrian, I'm not saying like launch them like it's GTA.
I had this today. I had something like that today.
They just like go out in front of you and like technically, yes, by law, they do have the right of way, but they also have more flexibility with their movement. Like you can go around the back of a car if you're a pedestrian. When I run, I go around the back of cars. I don't want people to wait for me.
Get this? You go.
If you're stopping for a pedestrian or literally anyone and there are no cars behind you, like Jack said, 7th layer, terrible.
Worst today, green light, pedestrian walks in front of me. Fuck you. Like,
yes.
The worst. Like, the worst. I'm not going to fucking hit him, so of course I have to, like, stop. But, like,
yeah,
he's, like, waiting on the double yellow lines in the middle of the road at a green light. I'm like, well, you're already fucking there. I can't not let you, like, you have to go now.
Do the jog?
No jog.
If they don't do the jog, you should be able to hit him.
Walked. That's what got me mad. At first, I was like, you know what? He's in the middle.
Don't actually hit people.
It was like, no. Please don't hit people. But it was like, oh, let me put that on screen too. But like,
they should take that into account in court.
It was like a high school kid too. It was like a high schooler too. So I'm like, all right, you're in the middle of the road. Just go ahead, whatever.
Not like Josh.
He fucking walks. It's a green light, bro. Get the fuck off. Run. Put a little fucking effort in.
Yeah. Have some respect.
God. The worst. All right.
I was coming back from basketball today, and it was bad traffic. 1-lane road. It was just like busy. It was like 5 o'clock. So like people are out coming home from work, whatever. People are just like letting people out of the side streets. It's like, what are we doing? Like, just because the person in front of you took a turn doesn't mean like, let's stop for 5 minutes. Like, just keep driving. There will be a gap eventually. Speaking of basketball, Played basketball Wednesday. Play every Wednesday. I love it. Love playing basketball. There's always good runs. Play with a group of guys, a good group. Wednesdays are the busiest days at the basketball gym, which is fun. Makes it fun because you have to win to stay. The games are competitive, and usually the competition is pretty good. Now, show up Wednesday. I unfortunately played with some of the worst people I've ever played basketball with. And listen. I do not.
Is health tracks?
Health tracks.
Okay.
I don't get mad at people because they're not good at basketball.
Can confirm.
Skill wise. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you miss shots. I care if you play like a moron. Or I care if you don't get back on defense. I was playing with people that I was bringing the ball up. They would, one, if they did come up, would not look at me, so I could not pass them the ball. If they did come up, they would sometimes not come up, but then they would somehow not be back on defense. And Jack, you have played in the Health Tracks gym. This Health Tracks gym
not a big gym.
is small. It's so small that we have to play 4-on-4. So I had to play a game not knowing that I was in for this, learn on the fly that I was in for a hard time, then wait probably 20, 25 minutes to play another game knowing I was in for it, which is even worse. Like, I just knew it wasn't going to be a good time.
That's
so
bad.
Disaster.
That's really bad. That is a disaster. I need to come back to health.
You don't have to be like athletic or like nasty at basketball. All you have to do is just like have awareness. That's it. That's all.
So I take it you didn't win many games that day.
No, didn't have a prayer, dude. Playing 4-on-1 on offense.
I got to get back down to health tracks, man. It's just such a long drive.
It's
for like a couple hours. It's a pain. All right, I'll lump my last couple things in so you can wrap.
I have
one.
More. I have the one that you know, and then I have one that I thought of. So if you don't want to lump them, you don't want to lump them.
Okay, I won't lump them then. Rat list my sleep. So obviously I stay up late. It is what it is. Last night, Sam, I was in bed before 1.
Good for you.
Crazy for me.
Monumental.
Didn't fall asleep till 6:30.
That sucks.
I could just like the first night I'm asleep, like in bed. I'm like, all right, catch up on sleep.
Some people just aren't good at sleep.
I couldn't fall asleep, man. I stayed up. So like I am very I need to watch something when I fall asleep because if not, my brain will just race and I won't like I can't like do it.
It
is what it is. Yeah, I have to watch something. And so
listen to music.
I don't know if it's because the videos I watched were too engaging or I picked the wrong things or I got like acid reflux at like 3 and I just like had to sit up and I was like, what is happening? I'm like dying. I'm like, I couldn't sleep. I didn't fall asleep till 6:30 and then I woke up at 9 and then I woke up at 10:30. So I'm running on like 3 hours of split up sleep right now. And it sucks. It's terrible. So ratless that because like I said, I made the effort. I got in bed. I went to sleep. I took 10 melatonin over the course of last night. Like what else am I supposed to
I'm so the opposite. Like I laid down last night and I was like, I'll watch like Stavros's new special on Netflix. And I was like asleep in like 10 minutes.
Fucked. Tragic. All right. Whatever. Go ahead.
I actually have 3 more. So if you want to sprinkle yours, like we're gonna
okay.
Be good.
Yeah.
Rat list my dad. My dad yesterday. Did I tell you about this?
No, but it's just my dad stuff.
My dad's the GOAT, dude. I love my dad. But I was playing Xbox yesterday, and I've been playing more Xbox lately, but I still don't get to play all that much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably like 15 minutes into a game. I probably had like 2.5 minutes left, and I was about to win. Like I had gone through the process of like, getting myself to this point. And then my fucking power in my room goes out. My screen just pops right off. And he's like, "Yeah, that was me, my bad. Like I hit a fuse." And I was like, "What the fuck, man? Like you just ruined it for me." Like I didn't even want to turn my shit back on.
Were you playing COD?
Game. I was playing Dead by Daylight, and I was like about to murder the last 2 people. It was fire. And I just see my screen goes out. I was so mad.
That's bad.
Like
that's the worst.
That's like I don't know, man. the fuel to like hit the pedestrian that doesn't jog. Like that's the thing that like makes you go over the edge. Just having your day ruined like that.
Yeah, it's bad.
But
That's tough.
he was like very like apologetic, so I couldn't even really be mad at him.
Mhm.
Sucked.
Yeah. Ratless, Target, and Santander. So Target go. Well, first of all, let me start over. Start of the day. I'm going.
Yeah.
Say that again.
You're a fan of Target.
I love Target, but hear me out.
This is a lot.
Let me rephrase. Not the people, not Target. The people at Target. I go to
Okay, very
Santander.
understandable.
I'm trying to move, so I need to move my money from my old bank account to my new one because I'm still updating my direct deposits, whatever. I get there, sit down, realize it's gonna be a million years. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this another time. Fuck this. I don't want to. I go to get a haircut. Anti-ratless supercuts haircut.
Okay.
Got very nice hairdresser, barber. He was dope. Had him before. He's cut my like sister's hair and stuff. So he was like, my sister told me what you got for Christmas. Gonna be hype. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, thanks, man. So it was funny as fuck. So I gave him a nice tip. He was a good guy. Shout out Michael.
He's actually just like pulling your leg like you got shit.
Good haircut too. Shout out. It was very nice. Then my sister texts me. She goes, "Can you pick me up some, mac and cheese?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm right by Target. It's fine. I also need to get like new shampoo, conditioner, or whatever." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just run an errand. It's fine right there." I go there. Perhaps the most full I've ever seen the parking lot. And so this was about like, yeah.
There's
so this
Christmas
is about
for you.
Yeah, this is about 1:15, and we have to record at 2, right? So I'm like, all right, let me check the line. It is what it is. I go in, and I'm like, there's no fucking chance. The line for the self-checkout was past all of the other registers. Like, I would have been, if I had the mac and cheese and stuff I need spawn in my hands and just gotten in line, it would have taken me 30 minutes. Like, there was
That's
no
terrible.
chance. So ratless that. It was awful. Fuck that.
Sebastian Maniscalco has like a joke about like learning the self-checkout at a grocery store so he's efficient.
Yeah.
I am legitimately efficient at the self-checkout. Like I'm so good at it. I have my phone in one hand with the Face ID to Apple Wallet open, and I pay and I set up the keypad while I'm scanning items. And I'm just so quick. I was out of the thing in 30 seconds yesterday.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. There you go. All right. Would you like to close? Do you have one more thing?
I have 2 more things. I can do them both quick.
Run it.
Well, I can do one of them quick. So Ratless Frank. Frank is a friend. We all went out to dinner yesterday.
Love Frank. Do love Frank.
We got wings. We went, and there was a special where if you buy 10 wings, you get 10 bone. You get bone in and you get boneless. You get 10 each, right? Frank's like, I only want the 10 boneless. Like, I'm good. And everyone's like, just get the fucking wings, dude. We'll eat them. And he was like, nah. So essentially, Frank like fumbled and didn't let us get like extra food for free. And he didn't realize it till after.
That's a tech. That you like.
Yeah, we should all like beat him up in the parking lot.
On the one hand, you should have like said no, just do it. It's free and explained it better. But like,
list from me.
Yeah, that's a tech. Tech for Frank. That's bad. That's bad behavior by Frank. Poor behavior. Also, just quick, like two sentence ratless. They've closed like 2 Buffalo Wild Wings right by me. It's very sad.
Sucks, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Very sad. That was the go-to spot in
mall.
high school. Yeah, I got to go to Mansfield for mine now instead of Brockton. Anyways, all right, I'll let you close. That was it.
Ratless gambling. Ratless gambling.
Can I pull it up?
Pull it up. So last night, the Pistons lost. Before the Pistons game on the Pistons subreddit, user stillflight4612 posted, "The streak ends tonight. Put my life savings on it."
Look at the
He
screen on
posted
mine.
his bet slip of a $5,000 wager to win 10 grand if the Pistons beat the Jazz. If you got to this part of the show, you already know that the Pistons lost. So my man lost his entire life savings yesterday. And you could be like, this is a rich guy, blah, blah, blah. He probably did this as a joke. But the man came on Reddit and was like, no, like I'm young, like it's okay, blah, blah. In the
Do you
comments.
see my
of this
shared
post.
screen now?
I see your
It's
shared.
deleted. It's
He
deleted.
deleted it out. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. But he lost $5,000, and everybody in the comments, because he posted it like 8 hours before tip, was like, "Dude, if you buy it out now, you already made $241. Like that's great profit. Just bet the $241. It's the same rush." And he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna ride it out."
How did he make profit like that? Because they went from underdogs to favorites or something?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how it worked, but they gave him a line that was like, if you cash out now, like here's this.
Oh, it looks like he bet it the night before. I bet he bet it, and then the Jazz ruled all their guys out. That would make sense. That would make sense, right?
Yeah.
So he bet this before the Jazz ruled their guys out. This is fucking psychotic. Holy shit.
Well, maybe he's from like another country where it might. I don't know. Like where kind of last everything.
I think he bet this before, and then that's the only reason why he would make profit on buying out. This is horrible, though. If he lost this money, what a disaster,
dude!
Oh my god!
Well, when they take my taxes, they'll take this from the right.
I need to do my taxes. Don't remind me. Oh, Ratlet. Yeah, not real. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
At the end, not real Ratless, but Drew Carter reminded me that at 26 we get.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
Tech. I tweeted at him. I said, "Drew, what the fuck?" And he liked.
I didn't need this at like probably midnight.
That's what I'm saying. It was because like it was good vibes. I said, "Drew, you ruined the vibes. What are we doing here?" It was just like a fucking shot to the heart.
He's 25 too, dude. He should know.
I know. He's 26. I think he's cooked.
Oh, is he 26?
I think he's cooked. Yeah. Sorry, Drew. Drew, we're still gonna get you on the pod. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I think it's going to be a long one. Subscribe, leave us a review on Apple.
An hour and a half, probably.
Yeah. Follow us on both, streaming platforms. Sorry. Leave us 5 stars. I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more full-length pods. We do game recaps after every game. If there is no pod to be released after the game day. You can also find Talkin' C's here with Bobby Kravitsky. He's great. SI Media inside the Celtics joins us to chat C's a couple times a week. We usually drop him in the afternoon, not at 5 a.m. when we usually drop. So you want the bell on so you don't miss them. You can also find our 30-minute pregame streams here on the channel. They're live. We're here every Celtics game, and we have a blast with the chat. You can follow us on Spotify and Apple. Leave a 5-star review there. On there, you get the audio versions of all full-length pods and game recaps, so you don't want to miss out on that if you don't want to have the YouTube open. You can email us to be a part of the pod, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You saw it already. We go through the emails. We appreciate all of your insight. We want to hear from you. We enjoy interacting with anybody who listens. You all right there?
I'm trying to point to the email, but I'm slow.
You're not positioned correctly.
I'm trying.
You've interrupted this. Follow us on socials at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is just the name of the podcast. The full-length pod. The pregame streams will be there. You can join us there. You can join us on Twitter as well. You can now interact on Twitter and leave comments. You can follow Jack on Twitter at JacksMonNBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on. Taco's having some fun here.